A very good evening, everyone. Tonight we are coming live all the way from ACOPONE Raceway. Quite a tricky track. More about that in a while. The guys are preparing for qualifying, and yeah, while they are going on the outlap, I think let's just quickly look at the track map. You can see the ACOPONE complex there. Got 3 variants of layouts. We are racing the middle layout, and it consists of, and wait for this, 22 corners. 22 corners to negotiate, and it goes fairly quick. Probably we're going to expect a lap of 136, 137 tonight, and quite excited to see what the guys will bring us. Now, basically, if you look at the weather tonight of the racing, yeah, the road temperature 25 degrees, ambient 26, some clouds in the air, and yeah, still while the guys are out preparing on the outlaps, let's just quick have a jump on board with Nick Hodgson and let him take us around the track on a quick lap to see the layout and to see what it's all about.
Alright, good evening everybody and welcome to an onboard flying lap, a qualifying lap at ACOPONE Raceway. This, of course, a completely fictional track. We are for the Sim Race SATC Series 2021.2, and we're on the soft tires, so we're taking it very easy on our outlap. They will literally only last 1 lap, and barely even that. Braking just after the 50. Keep the car as straight as possible and go all the way over to the right-hand side. You want to make sure to brake in a straight line. It'll give you the best possible braking, and also you won't spin out. Okay, absolutely flat through here. That's turn 3, turn 4. Just shift up a little bit early. Helps you keep to the right-hand side and keep flat through that left-hander. Braking just after the 100-meter board. Turning in and getting on the power nice and early in these on these soft tires really helps you keep the car flat sticks all the way through here. 4th gear, just clipping that curb there. Help keep the track as straight as possible up and over the hill. Don't hit the dirt on the right-hand side there. Into 6th gear, and we're going to fling the car through this little right-hander, but here we go. Just braking between the 100 and the 50 and carry as much speed as you possibly can. Avoid the green curb there. It will really throw you off. Right-hander in 4th gear can really lean on those soft tires. They are screaming by now with heat. 5th gear, just feathering the throttle through this section. Keep the car all the way on as far as you can on the right-hand side through that right-hander to line you up for this left-hander. And into 6th gear we go, braking just before the 50-meter board there. I like to keep the car nice and tight through this this corner, but you can take a slightly different line. It's about the same speed. Keep the car nice and tight through that right-hander, riding the curb for the final right-hander, and over the line we go for a 1 minute 33.614.
Well, thank you for that one, Nick. Yeah, as we saw there, 133.6. The Division 1 guys were quite quick, doing 133s and 134s on Monday night. Let's see what where the guys are. About 6 minutes to go for qualifying. I see the times are starting to get in. We've got Sean Weweye on track, currently in second place with a 1:39. James Leach Senior in pole position so far with a 1:37.4. While James is negotiating another lap, let us see who is else on track. We did mention Sean Bradley Taylor, BMW. We've got Marco Filunde in the pits with a Nissan Primera. Andre Hildebrand on a lap with a constant colored BMW. And Charles Smallberger starting another lap. Coming into turn 1, negotiating that tricky turn 2. And Charles went provisional pole with a 1:35.2. You can see there Charles in a Volvo, going a little bit wide there. That wide exit on that corner probably invalidated his lap. He's going to manage the tires to go on to another lap. That's James Leach Senior in second place, 1:37. And Sean currently in third. Also a shout out there to Hendrik Hansen there at the back. Starting another lap. Hendrik going third, the 1:37.5. So went a little bit wide on the exit there and managed to keep it under control there on the semi on the grass. Bradley Taylor currently in fifth. Bradley is currently about 1.2, 1.3 seconds up on his delta. Going into the stadium section of the main straight. Tight on the corners, not running too wide. And goes fourth, the 1:38.7. And Marco Filun still in the pits, sorting out some gremlins there in the Nissan. Andre Hildebrand also on a better lap now with about a 0.6 up on his delta. Unfortunately just running a little bit wide there. And as we know, our first race will be consisting of a 20-minute race, and our second race will be a 40-minute race, where all the stops and goes and strategies and tire choices and fuel loads come into play. See that Volvo of Scholl just wants to step out on the curb there, but he keeps it under control. Only about 30 seconds to go. Charles Smallberger still in first, pole position for the start. James Leach in second, Hendrik Hansen in third, Sean Verweye in fourth, Bradley Taylor, Marco Vloen and Andre Hildebrand. See James also there, a little slightly up on his delta. Just bouncing off the corner there, losing a little bit of time, and he stays second. I see the guys are starting to prepare now in the pit for the race. Changing the setups to the race setups. Doing the calculations for fuel loads. And it would be interesting to see what tires the guys are going to use. And that's my Audi safety car if need be, but I'm sure the guys will be all good, and I don't think I would need to take my car to the track. And the camera looking up on the main straight. Not many visitors on the pavilions. And the guys are on the straight there. As far as I can recall, Scholl and James and who was in third? Ron. Just a shout out there for Artis Boys in the YouTube. Hi Artis. The lights are off and we're racing. A little bit of a coming together there, but James Leach managed to jump up into first place with Bradley Taylor and Sean in third. I think Charles and Hendrik had a little bit of a problem there. I think we can see Marco Vloen there in the back also having a little bit of a braking problem, going off track. But it's still a long race. The race has just started and there's lots of time to get up to the front again. These three guys, James, Bradley and Sean, managed to keep out of trouble and well on the way. Andre followed there by Shaw. Marco seems like he's still got a little bit of a gremlin or two in with that Nissan. But up front it's James leading, coming on to into the stadium section before the main straight. Leading by about 1.5 seconds from Bradley and Sean there in third. Now Shaw also managed to get past Andre, so it seems like he's playing now the catch-up game. As we know, Shaw was quickest in qualifying, was doing 1:35s. So I would think he will probably catch up quite quickly. James leads now, opening that gap to 2.5 seconds from Bradley. And Charles about 3 seconds now behind Sean. Sean also slightly catching Bradley. In the meanwhile, James is opening that gap into first by about 3, almost 4 seconds now. But Charles is on his way there in fourth. And Marco also now getting back up to speed again. Hopefully sorted out his braking problems. Looking at Shaw, Malberger now right behind Sean. Negotiating all these S corners, small little back straight. Up front, James has got hard tires on. Bradley in the BMW's got soft tires, and Sean in this Gunston BMW just in front of Shaw also on hards. So Shaw is on mediums. And going into corner number 20. A lot of corners on this track. 21 and 22. James now increased that lead to about 5 seconds. Michelle going for that inside line. Now next to Sean. Just had a little bit lay of legs through that section, but Charles is on the inside. Just couldn't get him in there on the braking. Looking for that inside line now. Sean running a little bit wide and Charles goes through into third. And James, like I said, has opened the gap almost 5 seconds now to Bradley. And Charles about now 4 seconds behind Bradley now. Opening the gap to Sean in about 2 seconds. And Hendrik Hansen also now starting to creep up onto Sean. And James losing a little bit of time for the slide off there. Giving Bradley now only less than a second behind James. And James lost a whole 5.5 seconds. A little off track excursion. And Shaw now just about just a little bit more than 1 second behind Bradley. Hendrik now very close to Sean. And if you can see there, Shaw managed to go past Bradley on the main straight, going in the inside line and made the power stick. Now chasing James Leach. And Hendrik looking for opportunity to get past Sean. Looking for that inside line, and Sean giving a bit of a room there, and Hendrik managed to get past. Nice driving there between Sean and Hendrik. I think Sean did see Hendrik looking for that inside line and gave him enough room. Now Hendrik outbrakes himself a little bit through that far section. Marco Verloon just at his quickest lap of the race so far, getting up to speed. Still seems like he's struggling a little bit with that Nissan. Charles now very close, up just 0.4 behind James. Into turn 2 and James run very wide off track. Very tricky corner coming into turn 1 and then the turn 2. You have to be in a straight line, otherwise it just shoots you out on the outside. Exactly what happened there to James. And yeah, with that then Charles takes the lead. And Sean now looks if he can get closer to James. Charles just did a 136.5. Bradley only a 139. Hendrik Hansen did a 136.7, so he's starting to reel in Bradley. About 8 minutes to go. Charles Smallberger, Bradley Taylor, Hendrik Hansen, the top 3. James Leach also now getting a little bit of a speed back again, opening the gap to Sean. Charles opening a nice gap now to Bradley, but the dice is on for the second place. Hendrik running a little bit wide, but managed to keep it under control and get some speed back onto, and now very close to Bradley. Going on that outside line, Bradley on the inside, and Hendrik drives around him. Nicely done. James Leach also now getting very close to Bradley. Looks like Bradley is starting to struggle with those soft tires. You can see the back end of that BMW just wants to step out. James on the outside. And this is the same corner where Hendrik drove around Bradley, and James also did the same. But I think Bradley is really struggling with those soft tires on the BM. Oh, just under 5 minutes to go. Got Charles and Hendrik and James, top 3, followed by Bradley and Sean, Andre and Marco. It's like Hendrik now also had a little bit of a off-track moment there. Because he was about 5 seconds behind Charles, and all of a sudden 7 seconds. It's so easy to lose time on this track. You just go out of rhythm through those left right sections, and you lose easily 1 to 2 seconds. That Volvo jumping over the curb there. I think Hendrik is also struggling on these, also on soft tires in that Volvo. And as we saw that Nick mentioned, the softs won't last at all, especially in the front wheel drive Volvo. You see Hendrik lost about 3, almost 4 seconds on that lap. But in front, Charles Smallberger doing a good job. Little problem at the start. A little bit of a coming together. Was right at the back and then drove all the way back to the front again. So very nicely done. Hendrik is just managing that gap to James, about 2.8 seconds. See if those he's managing those soft tires. I think this lap was a much better lap. Marco Falloon went back into the pits, talking probably very harshly to his mechanics and to sort out that Nissan. Andre Hildebrand also solo drive, getting to grips with the BMW, they're in 6. Sean in another BMW, they're in 5th place. And then Bradley in 4th. James we're about a second faster than Hendrik on this lap. The gap was 3 seconds, only 1.8 now. So really starting to catch Hendrik now. Now on this lap, James went almost a second faster than his fastest lap, but Hendrik now also lost about a second. And Charles Smallberger now on his last lap. I'll just be on board with Scholl. Yeah, he negotiates all these corners. And this is the hairpin just before the stadium section. I think this is turn 19. And Scholl bringing it home in first. Well done. And as in the back we can see James very close to Hendrik. Hendrik managed to hold him off for that second place and James into third. Bradley Taylor bringing up fourth. And Sean in 5th. Andre Hildebrand probably ran out of fuel or something. He's just parking next to the and Marco Floon in the pits. Now, great race, guys. I think from what we saw of what happened in the first corner, great recovery drive for Charles. Some great ices, a little bit of an off track here and there, but yeah, the guys I think are quite comfortable now for the second race. And we will be right back with the second race. Just need to switch the servers, and we'll give you all the action again.
Alright, good evening everybody and welcome to an onboard flying lap, a qualifying lap at ACOPONE Raceway. This, of course, a completely fictional track. We are for the Sim Race SATC Series 2021.2, and we're on the soft tires, so we're taking it very easy on our outlap. They will literally only last one lap, and barely even that. Braking just after the 50. Keep the car as straight as possible and go all the way over to the right-hand side. You want to make sure to brake in a straight line. It'll give you the best possible braking, and also you won't spin out. Okay, absolutely flat through here. That's turn 3, turn 4. Just shift up a little bit early. Helps you keep to the right-hand side and keep flat through that left-hander. Braking just after the 100-meter board. Turning in and getting on the power nice and early in these soft tires really helps you keep the car flat sticks all the way through here. 4th gear, just clipping that curb there. Help keep the track as straight as possible up and over the hill. Don't hit the dirt on the right-hand side there. Into 6th gear, and we're going to fling the car through this little right-hander, but here we go. Just braking between the 100 and the 50 and carry as much speed as you possibly can. Avoid the green curb there. It will really throw you off. Right-hander in 4th gear can really lean on those soft tires. They are screaming by now with heat. 5th gear, just feathering the throttle through this section. Keep the car all the way on as far as you can on the right-hand side through that right-hander to line you up for this left-hander. And into 6th gear we go, braking just before the 50-meter board there. I like to keep the car nice and tight through this this corner, but you can take a slightly different line. It's about the same speed. Keep the car nice and tight through that right-hander, riding the curb for the final right-hander, and over the line we go for a 1 minute 33.614.
Hello everyone again. We are back for the second race. Yeah, myself, Peter Veldnes, on this side of the microphone. See there, Stefan van der Westhuizen. Shouting for Charles there. Yeah, Charles did a good race there. A great recovery drive. So very well done. And as I predicted there for Andre, ran out of fuel there. Very unfortunate. Just a quick overview again of the track map there. We're doing seems like there's a few variants of the track that can be raced, and we're doing the middle variant there on the top, which consists of 22 corners. Quite a tricky track. You have to get into that rhythm through those zigzag portions of those sections, and but oh my, if you get it right, it's very rewarding as well. And again, just looking at the weather, low temperature 25 degrees, some clouds in the air, but more or less a good day. Track temperatures is quite nice for a nice race ahead of us. 40 minutes. This is where all the stops and pit stops, fuel loads, tire choices is coming into play with a longer race. Now the guys are making ready to start the qualifying, 10-minute qualifying. And you can see there in the background, the guys are starting to go out. James Lee's just slowing a little bit down, not to be too close to, I think that's Marco in the Nissan. Starting on a quick lap, going down the main straight. James has opted to go for the hard tires in qualifying. And unfortunately, he's catching Marco again. And that will probably affect his qualifying lap. Charles also now starting his a flying lap. Was on his out lap. Yeah, Marco Verleunen kept it clean on that one, going provisional pole. Bradley's BMW struggling to get grip on the front end of it. BMW, you could see how the BMW just doesn't want to grip up front and went a little bit wide. Yeah, Hendrik Hansen now provisional pole in 135.9. Sliding that Volvo through that corner on entry. I see Charles is not being able to get a clean lap in so far, but I think he's on another flying already, about 3.30 delta up on his delta. Sean in third place. So he's gonna go out on a more quicker lap just now. Sean getting closer to the main straight section. If he can manage to keep it clean through this 2 S's into 22 and down the main straight. And goes pole with a 135.5. Thank you, Ryan. Sometimes while we're busy fiddling with stuff, you forget to do some unmuting. Thank you for that. Hendrik Hansen there in second place. Not improving at this stage through the lap. Only about 0.4 between first and second at this stage. Marco Viljoen there in the pits still in third. And Sean filling out all the stops with the BMW to see if he can improve. Gain a lot of time through that section. Still picking up time. Coming onto the main straight. Probably would see him in third place. But just could not bit quicker than Marco. Andre Hildebrand still in the pit. Bradley also. Shaw also in the pit, starting to prepare for the race. And Hendrik Hansen also thinking there's a little bit of time left. Yeah, I think he needs to get back to the pit to start preparing. And as we're finishing qualifying, James Leach jumped into third place there. We've got Charles Smallberger, Hendrik Hansen, James Leach Senior, and Marco Verloon, Sean Wewe, Andre Hildebrand, and Bradley Taylor. Yeah, 40-minute race coming up. You can see Charles Smallberger there in pole position. James Leach just behind him in third. And Hendrik Hansen on the left hand side. Marco Verloon just behind him. Bradley Taylor behind Marco. And then on the right hand side we've got Sean Wewe and Andre Hildebrand in the two BMWs. The lights are on. Starting to get the revs right, and off we go. James Leach got a great start there, trying to see if he can get in between. 3 wide into turn 1. James on the outside there of Charles, driving around him. Charles giving him lots of space there, and James managed to nick that first place from third on the grid. James and Charles running wide there, giving Hendrik Hansen an opportunity to snatch that first place. Hendrik, Bradley, Charles, James, Sean, Andre and Marco. Well, just one little small mistake under braking and everything changes. Bradley unfortunately losing the BMW there. As we saw, Hendrik also going a little bit wide through that one corner, but managed to control it. So after the first lap, Hendrik is leading with James Leach in second. Andre Hildebrand now bringing up third, and Marco right behind him in the Nissan. Actually coming alongside him down the main straight on the inside. Just could not control it through the corner there. But up front, Hendrik is still leading with James in second. Now Sean inherited that third place after a little bit of a problem into turn one there between Andre Hildebrand and Marco Verloon. Sean managed to get back into the fourth place. James leads senior now right behind Hendrik. James looking for that outside line. Hendrik was very aware of that outside line because I think Hendrik and James actually pulled off passes in the first race exactly there, and James just could not manage to go on the outside there. Hendrik still leading. Sean in third and Charles Smallberger in fourth. James running a little bit wide. Andre now there in seventh. Up front, James still trying to get closer to Hendrik again. Just keep a gap on the eye on that gap between Charles and Sean then for third and fourth. Charles only 2 seconds behind Sean now. Let's quickly look at the tires. Hendrik is on hards. James Leach is also on hards. Charles mediums. Bradley hards, Andre Hildebrand hards, and Marco is still on the softs with the Nissan. James closes right up on the braking through turn 1 and 2. We've got 2 battles now, one for the lead between Hendrik and James, and then also one for third place between Sean and Charles. Charles looking for that inside line and managed to get speed out of that corner and pass Sean for that third place. Still a long way to go with 33 minutes after race. I think yeah, with Charles now 12 seconds to catch up to James and Hendrik. Coming down the main straight, Hendrik just holding off James. It'll be interesting to see what the guys do with their pit stops. And probably about mid-race in the vicinity of 20 minutes. See if they're going to change tires. Although on Monday night in the Division 1 race, some of us could actually manage to go full race with the hards, but it was also almost not doable. But yeah, I think if you can manage the tires in the first half of the race, it is very doable. Hendrik are running a little bit wide, giving James the opportunity to sneak past on the inside for the lead. Michal Smallberger in third place is still doing about the same lap times as these guys, is still at about 12 seconds behind them. Now on board with Hendrik. He's chasing James. Both of them struggling a little bit on the braking in that short little 90-degree right. That managed well to control it and get back up to speed. And they're just losing it a little bit. That little off, Hendrik actually then fell back into third place. Charles managed to get past him while Hendrik was recovering. Charles now only about 10.5 seconds, so he's catching James. Hendrik now in third place with, and he's got hards on his tire. Charles in front of him in second place got mediums. I wonder if Hendrik is going to play the long game, and Charles with the mediums probably need to go and pit. So we'll just have to see. Still about 9 seconds to go, 9 minutes to go to the halfway point. The gap is coming down from Charles to James in first, only about 9.5 seconds now. And I have to apologize there to Hendrik Hansen. I was on board with you, so yeah, the commentator's curse is very real tonight, so yes, I'll take that one on me. Next time when we race, I'll give you a position. Just joking, but yeah, sorry for that. Still up front with about 9.5 seconds. James leads Senior. James is on the hards as well, so it would be interesting to see if he's going to pit or he's also going to go the long. See if we can manage the whole race with one set without stopping. Michelle increasing the gap to Hendrik a little bit, by about a half a second that time around. Marco Flunde in 7th place, still circulating and driving the wheels off that Nissan. Hopefully all his gremlins are sorted and his mechanics sorted him out. On the Hildebrand a little bit, almost going farming there. Hopefully his fuel gauge is working this time around, because as far as I can recall, he ran out of fuel in the first race. Bradley Taylor also now recovering a little bit because of a few problems at the start of the race. And Sean Weweye also now just circulating, getting to rhythm and getting the consistency going. And as I say that, his BMW's back step out. And Hendrik, 3rd place. Shall increase that gap now from 3 to 5 seconds. James still managing that gap between himself and Charles with around 10 seconds now. And James getting past Andre there. Andre saw him and gave him enough room. Thank you, Andre. At this stage, James Leach doing a very nice job, very consistent. Only about 300ths of a second off his fastest time that time around. Actually starting to increase the gap to Charles. Bradley is now getting closer to Sean. Bradley slightly quicker on that lap as Sean. Yes, got a shout out there from our helicopter pilot, just he's following Bradley through this S section. As you can see, quite a tricky affair. And as I jumped on board at on Sean's car, I think his spun a little bit there and lost the back of the BMW, giving Bradley that 4th place. James has now increased that gap to Charles to 12.5 seconds. Now 22 minutes to go, almost halfway of the race. So we'll see what the guys do with the strategy. Marco's still struggling a little bit there with that Nissan of his. Still not very happy. James sliding that Nissan, that Volvo through that section. Still very consistent on his lap times. Personally, what I found in these long races, you have to focus on the consistency and not making any mistakes, and just drive your lines, just drive calmly, and you know, it will work out. Charles still in 2nd place, but James has increased the gap to Charles, and but Charles also now increased the gap to Hendrik in 3rd. I can see there Charles going a little bit wide on those green portions of the curbs, which is actually quite very slippery, and touching those green portions on the curbs, it will just throw you out on the outside. With about 19 minutes to go, see no one has pitted yet. Yeah, and so I just switched to Hendrik for a little bit of an off. Losing a few seconds, about 5-6 seconds to Charles in third. There's a little bit more than 17 minutes to go. I just want to see if James is going to come into pit. No, he's going past. Still doing very consistent lap times. And Charles also not pitting. Yeah, James on the hards and Charles on mediums, so he's making those mediums last a long time. And Hendrik is on hards, also not pitting so far. Badly now, losing a lot of time. Bringing Shaw now back into contention for that 4th place. Only now 10 seconds behind him. Badly lost almost 12 seconds there. At this stage of the race, no one has pitted yet. Seems like everyone is going for the long run. Just need to keep an eye on Shaw with the mediums. James keeping that Volvo nicely under control as this back wants to start step out there through turn 1 and 2. Now James made a little bit mistake there. And as we switch to James Leach, so he went into the pits, overshot his pit box a little bit, and but managed to get his tire changes done. And James now in third, Charles in the lead now. But remember, Charles is still on the medium, so to see how that goes for Charles. Charles also now approaching the stadium section. And he still stays out. Charles still doing reasonably good laps. I think he was about just over a second down on his fastest time on that one, which is still good at this stage of the race. Those medium tires by now well worn. I think with the fresh tires and James Leach's pace, he probably would be able to catch Hendrik for that second place. And Charles still stays out, not pitting. Hendrik doing a 137.6 and James just did a 135.8. So he's now reeling in Hendrik with those fresh new tires. Hendrik Hansen is also slowly catching Charles, but with only 9 minutes to go, probably still a little bit too far. 10.5 seconds gap between first and second. And Marco Viljoen also pits with a Nissan. Andre Hildebrand also still circulating there in 6th place, keeping it on track. Sean in 5th place. Let me jump quickly away from Sean before he spins out again. That commentator's cursing. And Bradley Taylor also a solid drive there in 4th. James also now starting to reel in Hendrik quite rapidly. He's only 3.5 seconds now behind him. And in the background we see Marco just going onto those green portions of the curb and losing it. Hendrik making those use of those hard tires. Also now starting to slowly catching Charles, only about 8.5 seconds behind him. Andre Hildebrand was on there. Just getting back onto track. James on fresher tires than Hendrik. Almost side by side going down the main straight. Hendrik holding on to that inside line. James going for the wider line to see if he can get a better exit. Managed to do so and is on the inside. I think the next corner is some nice driving, a little bit of a contact there, but not too much, and Hendrik managed to control it. And well done, James, for getting back into second. Let's see the fresher tires and help James there big time. Now it's going to be interesting to see if James can catch Charles. Charles still keeping control of the lead, about 8-second lead, with about 5.5 minutes to go. Let's see what kind of lap time Charles is doing, because I'm sure those mediums that he's on is probably on the end of their life. James reeling in Charles quite rapidly now. Charles did a 140 and James a 136. A little bit more than 3-second gain on that lap. Only 5 minutes to go. Charles struggling through that hairpin corner. Seems like the grip is very low on the front end of his Volvo. And James another 2.5 seconds. But as we say that James going a little bit wide under braking, back steps out, managed to control it very nicely. 3 minutes to go and 4.2 seconds behind Charles in second place. Hendrik also doing a good job there in third, using those hards to the utmost. The life of those hards is also almost at the end. I have to say, just a shout out to the organizers and everyone behind the scenes at SRSA. Thank you guys for all the effort everyone put in, and this was a very enjoyable series. and yeah, some of us had to really dig deep to get these cars to work for us, and it was a very nice series, especially for myself. Could manage some decent laps, and yeah, thank you very much for the series, and hopefully the next one will just be exciting as this. James now only about a second behind Charles. You can see those mediums are really a handful for Charles. And also a shout out to Nick Hodgson, Ross Bartle, and Brett Krogram for the top 3 positions, I think, in the championships, unofficially, but yeah, very well driven guys. And yeah, you've set us a target, so watch out for next season. James now all over the back of Charles' car. It shows just keeping on the line. Just drifting a little bit wide through that hairpin portion of the section of the corner, and giving James the opportunity to dive onto the inside and take the lead. It's on the second last lap. Yeah, just just to end up everyone, yeah, Marco Falloon there in 7th place with a Nissan. Struggling a little bit. Seems like his mechanics didn't give him a totally nice car to drive, but Marco doing a good job to keep it clean and keep it on the track. And Andre in 6th place. Sean also doing a good job there in 5th. And Bradley there in 4th place. Solid drive. I have to say, Hendrik Hansen did put in a good show tonight, and so great drive, Hendrik. Charles at the end, I think, just couldn't hold on with the mediums, but still went full race with the mediums, and James leads with a pit stop strategy of 1 stop after about 27 minutes in 1st place. Very well driven, James. Great pace as well, and very consistent as well. And I think that's it from my side. Guys did a good job tonight. Not a lot of drivers on track, but I think all of them had some great fun. It's always fun driving these cars. And yeah, as I mentioned, very enjoyable series that we had, the SimTC series. Thank you SimRace South Africa for doing all the hard work behind the scenes and everyone involved. And we'll are looking out for the next series in the SimTC series for the next season, and hopefully we will have lots of action and on track enjoyment to come our way. And I think from my side, Peter Veldhuis, hope everyone stays healthy and keep well. And yeah, as we know, the coming weekend, the Kailami 9 hour taking all the attention, and a lot of us is preparing for that race. So good luck to everyone involved there. And we'll catch everyone again for this next SimTC series, probably very soon in the new year. Yeah, there's still a few races to finish off this season, and hope everyone will keeping the practice rounds and do what they need to do to be quick. So everyone from my side, very good night, and hope to see you on track soon.